What's up, you guys? I'm out here with my buddy right here, Mark.
What's up?
And we are working on the KA. Mark actually went to school to be a mechanic, but you specialize in like the Nissan, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I have him to help me out with building this. Even though we're finishing up the whole KAT and everything, he just wanted to come out and help me with it. So I don't mind it at all. So we're gonna jump right into it, and I'm going to be installing the oil sending unit, which is right here underneath my turbo. It already has like a feed for my turbo already plugged in. I'll show you guys that when I get it installed onto the block. And I'm also going to be installing the intake manifold, which has all my coolant feeds that go to the turbo also. And one thing I did before I started this video is I bolted up my knock sensor, which is right here, as you guys can see. All I did is just bolt it on. It's just one bolt, and then the whole knock sensor is on. But other than that, we're about to jump right into it, bolt this oil sending unit on, and then start on the intake manifold. I'm gonna try my best to explain all the coolant feeds and everything that goes to the turbo too, if you are trying to turbo your KAT. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Alright, you guys, so to start off, I'm taking the oil sending unit right here, and you want to clean the surface right here, and then you want to clean the surface that's on your block also. You want to do that, and then you have to have a gasket right here, and you're going to want to have either the black silicone. I already ran out of that Nissan silicone that I was using due to the front timing cover that I had messed up. I basically wasted all the silicone on that. I would have made it with it, but I didn't, so I had to go get that silicone. But basically you want to put silicone on this surface, silicone on block surface, and then basically have the gasket in between, and you want to sandwich it. So I'm about to do that right now. Alright, you guys, so we got the whole oil sending unit on the other side of the block. Now we're on the exhaust side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my whole manifold and turbo assembly right here, and I'm going to basically just put it on to the studs right now, but I'm not going to like torque it down or bolt it down like to where it's stuck on there forever. I'm just going to take two little bolts right here, or nuts, and I'm going to just have it hang in there basically, because I'm going to run all my oil, like my oil feeds and my coolant feeds. I'm gonna run that all the way around, because I run my shit like all the way like around the back side of the block. And yeah, that's what I'm basically gonna do. I'm just gonna hook this up right here for right now, and then I'm gonna go to the other side of the block, and I'm going to start putting the intake manifold on, and I'm gonna start running my coolant feeds and everything to the turbo. Alright, so now that I got the turbo over here, all bolted up on the exhaust side, we're on the intake side now. So I'm about to run all the coolant lines and oil lines, the oil feed line, over to the intake side, because that's where I hooked them up at. So for all you guys that don't know, I run in these black rubber hoses is the coolant, and then I have braided hose for the oil, which looks like this. So this is my oil feed, this is my coolant. I forgot which one, feed or return, but I have my coolant lines hooked up. I have like a red zip tie on basically whatever it connects to on the bottom housing of the manifold, and then I have like a yellow zip tie on the other one, so I know which one goes to which, like feed and return. But my oil line is like, I think it's 3AN or 4AN, one of those. Braided hose line, and that connects to the oil sending unit down here, which I'll get a close-up shot for you guys here in a second. But I'm about to install the top part of the intake and then start to assemble the bottom part. But while I assemble the bottom part, I'm going to be connecting my feeds and everything like that. Alright, you guys, so when you're about to put your intake manifold on, you want to have your gasket right here, and you're going to also have your gray RTV silicone, and this is basically used for coolant passages and just dealing with anything coolant wise on the block and head. or just building the engine period. So it's the gray one, not the black one. And you basically want to use this stuff right here on this coolant passage. That's what this is right here, just this little area. So basically you just want to put the RTV just around this area, and then you're going to want to put it on the same area on your manifold and sandwich the gasket between the silicone and everything. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to put silicone right here, make sure both my metal surfaces are clean, and then I'm going to bolt down the manifold. But when I bolt down the manifold, make sure you do not use like power tools, like something strong, or use like a lot of power or leverage, because it will strip out the head. It's made of aluminum and everything like tends to like strip out. And I'm like stuttering over here, like trying so hard to talk to you guys. I'm so sorry, but I'm about to do it right now. Alright, so now that I got the manifold on, I'm going to move to putting the fuel rail on, which is right there. So to do that, I'm going to clean these out right here, these little slots, and I'm going to put the O-rings, which are these. I'm basically going to just like coat these in oil, or you can use like petroleum jelly or like lithium grease, and just slide these right up into these little slots, and then I'll drop the fuel rail on and then start to bolt that down, which that's just this bolt, this bolt, and then the end of the fuel rail goes around this stud right here, and then you bolt that down too. So just those 3 bolts and these O-rings, and then the fuel rail should be on. Alright you guys, so after wrestling this fuel rail and getting it on, now I'm going to move on to connecting my oil feed line, which this is my oil feed line right here, and as you see it connects right here to this bolt that goes to the oil sending unit, and that goes to the turbo. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take this coolant line that goes to the turbo, and then this coolant line which goes to the turbo. I'm going to connect these to where they need to go. So this yellow one that you see with the yellow zip tie, I have a yellow zip tie right there. So that's where that one goes. And then as for the red one, over here on the lower part of the manifold, I have a little bottom piece down here. Let's see if I can flip this. I'll show you guys. I have that red zip tie right there, and that's where the other coolant line goes. So basically I'm going to take this, the bottom part of the manifold, and hook it up right here to the top part of the manifold, but I'm not going to secure it like tightly or nothing like that. I'm just going to get it to where it's in this general area so that I can hook all my like water feed and everything up to it. And then once I get all the water feeds and all the coolant passages all hooked up, then I'll go ahead and I'll tighten everything down, and that should be it. Alright, you guys, so I now have the fuel rail hooked up, have all my coolant lines, SID turbo hooked up. The regular original coolant lines that are already on the K, I have those hooked up and tightened down. I got my oil feed to the turbo hooked up. The only thing I don't have hooked up really is the valve cover, and I don't have the distributor in yet. And I don't have the exhaust manifold bolted down all the way. I'm gonna do that after I have the engine inside the 240, which is actually the next video. So if you guys like this video, please do, of course, like it and subscribe for the channel. Please do keep on support. I messed up. So sorry. Please do keep on supporting us and everything. We're actually gaining a lot more subscribers, like I said in the last video, but it just keeps happening. It's just awesome, and I want to thank you guys. So next video, we're dropping it into the 240, as you see right here. We're about to do that right now, but like I said, it's next video. So keep on liking and subscribing, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.